Hello there, Katie Hunt here with your general weekly tarot card reading for the week of May 20th, 2019. This week I'll be using the Everyday Witch Tarot cards by Deborah Blake and intuiting any additional information that comes in from our guides and from the universe that we have the absolute best understanding on what is to come this week. So I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you are surviving this really intense time. I hope that you're reflecting on all of the hardships that you are facing these last couple weeks, all of the stuff that's bubbling up to the surface, all of the stuff that's been challenging you. This is all coming up to serve you. We are in this rapid experience of growth right now. A lot of the stuff that's coming up to the surface is the real stuff, is maybe some stuff from your past that has gone unresolved. Maybe it's some stuff that was really ugly and you have to kind of look at it a little bit. Or maybe it's stuff that's coming up that seems so old that you aren't even really identifying with it anymore, but it's just affecting you. So whatever is happening, it is a gift. It's hard to believe, and you may not think that way now, but you will once it's all over. You will look back and be grateful for it, because much like when you have, when you have a sickness or something, you purge it out of you. It's the same graphic situation, just on an energetic level. So all of this stuff is just bubbling up to the surface so it can get out of us, because it's toxic to us, and it's a poison that we don't really need to deal with anymore. So it's time to go. The guidance is, go back to basics this week. Things are really intense. They're not going to shift. Not this week, unfortunately. Things are still going to be intense. There's still going to be a lot of stuff bubbling up to the surface. So go back to the basics. Take nice long walks outside. Take nice long baths. Do things that you like to do to relax and to rest and rejuvenate yourself. Take naps if you can. Try to get into bed early. Try not to overload your schedule. Just try to be really easy and gentle with yourself, because your nerves are fried right now. There's no way that they're not. Make sure that you are nurturing your physical body so that you're creating this beautiful temple for your energy body to live in and process all of this stuff. So just make sure that your physical body is in good shape, because all of this energetic shifting and clearing can be really intense and can be hard on our nervous system. It is hard on our nervous system, and that's why yours is probably fried. But it can be really hard on your physical body as well. So take the time to really nurture your physical body so that the exhaustion doesn't lead you to, any sort of physical illness. And if you are sick these last couple weeks, it's just the stuff that you're clearing just happens to be so deep that it's been clearing on a physical level. For some of you, that is the case anyways. For others, they're saying when you get sick, it is a beautiful reminder for you to take care of yourself. It sucks a lot to be sick, and it's just kind of annoying as well. But it's a time for you to really listen to your body, and it's your body's way of showing you that it's just had enough and that it needs a little bit of a break. And it's actually forcing you to take a break. So take advantage of those times when you're sick. Watch TV, watch those shows that you really love to watch, sleep lots, read those good books, lay in bed, all of those kinds of things. So the same, even if you're not physically sick yet, the same advice would still apply to you here. Try to rest as much as you can so you don't get sick, so you can nurture yourself to facilitate this enormous transition that you're going through right now with all of this stuff clearing. If you're into crystals, amethyst, this is not amethyst, but it's purple. Amethyst is purple, kind of like this. So if you are into crystals, or you have any, or you're interested in, playing with them a little bit. Amethyst is a great one to work with this week. It is a stone for healing. It is just a really beautiful energy as well, nice and light. To me, it feels very angelic. So that would be a great one to help you as well to integrate all of this stuff that is bubbling up to the surface. And to just kind of help all of it ground too. Crystals can feel really high vibrational, but they're also very grounding because they're from the earth. So it's kind of a beautiful way to anchor in all of that stuff that's coming up to the surface. It's a great way, if you're grounded, for it to leave you and exit you in a faster way, because it has somewhere to go. Because when we're ungrounded, it takes longer for this stuff to clear out and actually leave your body, because there's no really direct line out of your body. It's like it has to find another route. So crystals can help you ground. Also, visualizing a cord coming from your tailbone to the center of the planet. A really beautiful visual I walk my clients, like meditation clients and stuff like that, through is imagining roots growing from your feet and going through all of the floor, the layers of your floor, and through your home, through the earth, all the layers of the rock and all of that, to the core of the planet, and growing roots and connecting you into the planet is another great way. 2 for the weekend. I'm exhausted. Are you guys exhausted? I'm exhausted. The last couple weeks have been obviously a lot. We've already covered that. But it's just, I'm so tired. And I usually can like get a lot of energy when I need it. But like I'm just tired and I just want to sleep all the time. But you can't, because you have to function in society for some reason. So I'm tired. Comment below if you are also tired. But my friends, this is why we just have to rest and nurture ourselves, is so that we can let this exhaustion clear through us and go into the planet to be transmuted into something else, something more beautiful, so that we can also not be exhausted, so that we can step into those things that we actually want to do, and that step forward into those new exciting opportunities that we're making room for by clearing all of this junk. Okay, so for the theme of this week, we have the 5 of Swords. So there's kind of like a division in the message here. We will start with the first scenario. So the first scenario is being totally consumed by whatever it is that you are going through, that you're just totally in your own world, and your self-awareness is non-existent this week. It's called cold depression, when you're just completely overwhelmed on all fronts. You just cannot take any more information in because you're just completely full energetically. So that's kind of what we're all dealing with right now, is like when you're going through so much and you have so many things to do and you feel little motivation to get any of it done. Sometimes it's just completely overwhelming to even take in a little bit more information. And so sometimes you just feel going to complete overwhelm. Other times you just can't even hold space for people because you just cannot, like, you know, those phrases like, I literally cannot even, that's kind of where this comes in, is just, I cannot even listen to you complain about this because I have no space to hold for you in this. So sometimes when we are experiencing all of this, that we've been experiencing the last little while, we just get to our breaking point and we're just fully at capacity and we have no room to even think about other people. And so be careful this week, or be mindful that this will be very easy for you to slip in, because rightfully so, you are going through a lot, but just being mindful of this going forward, that your actions affect others and that you need to contain your energy and you need to be responsible for your emotions and how you're feeling, and not blurting it on other people. Because if other people are around you, they're going to pick up on what it is you're putting down. They are also affected by your emotions and your actions, and just make sure that you take a beat before making any sort of rash decisions. Just take a beat, think about the repercussions, think about the people around you, and when you're making decisions, just take an extra moment to think about the people that could be impacted by this decision. So that's kind of that self-awareness piece that you'll need to work extra hard to make sure that you don't offend people this week, or that you don't step on anyone's toes, which kind of sucks because you don't really have the capacity to even care about that, frankly, right now. But it's just going to be something that you just have to kind of deal with a little bit. I'm just going to fix my light. Is that better? That's been bothering me since we started, so I'm glad that we had that chat. Okay, so then the second part of this is the conflict piece. So this is the rest of you, because this is general reading, just kind of see whichever one is which. Now the light is really bright. I'm sorry. I have a total of one day I'll take a picture of my setup and share it with you, because it's pretty ghetto. Okay. I don't have any fancy lighting or anything like that. It's literally an IKEA lamp inside of a garbage bag, or in a garbage pail. You know my secrets. Anyways, the other half is those of you who the first part of this card does not really relate to. This is you are self-aware. You are aware that other people are impacted by this, but you don't really care. So you're just going to go forward and do it anyways. And that's fair. You can be in that empowered place, but understand that your actions have repercussions and that you are potentially hurting other people. So just when you're making those decisions, when you're really confident and you just don't care about how other people feel or how other people are going to react, just keep in mind that you may not feel that way next week or the following week. That by the time this energy kind of surpasses, you might actually feel a little bit bad about the decisions that you've made because they hurt other people. So just some things to keep in mind, nothing to go interfere about, but just, always being mindful as we go. Okay, so for Monday, Tuesday, we have the Knight of Cups. Yes, for some of you, this is a romantic partner coming in. For others, this is clearing of old relationships that have gone unresolved. This also, depending, on who you are, this could be a water sign male stepping in and influencing you. It's more of a romantic type. He's very romantic. He's a kind of a player. He's very much like heart on his sleeve. He'll tell you all the things that you want to hear. So if you do meet somebody on Monday, Tuesday, again, be mindful of that. Before you jump into something super serious, maybe just trust your gut and suss it out a little bit and see if he's actually the right fit for you. And if not, just have fun with it. There's not a whole lot of skin in the game. It's all good. Just have a good time. For some of you, though, like I said, this could be clearing of old past relationships that have gone unresolved. And for others, this is just kind of a little like bloop in your week where the romance in your life kind of peaks, and maybe it's you're feeling extra fresh, or you want to go on a date, or you're feeling extra flirty, or whatever the case may be. Actually, for some of you too, this is someone you work with. There could be a romance budding with somebody that you work with. I don't know why that came up. It's also something to be mindful of. Are you thinking about the effects that your decisions that you're making will have on your, in this example, and your coworkers? You going forward, maybe jumping into a relationship with somebody you work with. Like, think about that first and think about how to do that in a way that's, respectful, not only for other people, but like for you. Like, how are you going to maintain your reputation as you jump into this relationship with this person? Because you know, people are super judgmental and you've worked really hard to build up your reputation and you don't deserve that. So just another thing to be mindful of, that your actions affect other people. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's just another reminder that we just have to be a little bit extra mindful sometimes, which is kind of annoying. I am the first one to say that that's annoying, because I am of the belief that it's nobody's business. Like, my business is nobody's business. So I get annoyed when people always tell me, like, you should be mindful of how this affects other people. And I'm like, well, it shouldn't, because it's not their life. So I hear you. It is annoying. Okay. This actually is a beautiful fit. So we have the Judgment card, which is a major arcana card. Not a whole lot of choice here, but this ties beautifully into what I was saying about this, the judgment that other people have on you. That actually was a perfect segue into what I'm about to talk about next. Is the judgment is ripe in the air. You are being called to use your judgment. It's not a judgment from a place of the mind. It's a judgment from a place in your heart, in your body, in your bones. What feels right? What is the right decision? What is your judgment based on how you're actually feeling? For some of you, this is that there's just a whole lot of judgment in the air, and that'll be really easy to be judgmental and, again, act in a certain way or think certain things about somebody or say certain things about somebody that has repercussions and has impacts. Others, this is a indication that a legal issue will come to a close, or that you will have some headway. This is random as well. For someone out there who's watching, this has to do with some sort of money arrangement that you've made. Perhaps you've been working with like a new financial advisor or something like that, and there hasn't been a whole lot of movement, or you've been worried or something like that. But this is on Wednesday, Thursday, you might get some confirmation whether this is the right move for you, or things actually might start moving for you in the financial space, or some sort of like arrangement between the two of you will get solidified. Yeah, and for others, this is just kind of partnered with the Love card. So use your discernment, use your judgment, but others, it's also like if you are in a relationship with somebody, noticing where you are getting really judgmental, or where you are kind of starting to slip into that a little bit, because that will kind of be in the air and it won't be really something that you'll have a whole lot of control over. It's just going to be kind of guiding you through this energy that feels a little bit like judgment. It's not judgment. It's, I don't know. It's just weird. Judgment, I guess, is pretty yucky. So, but it's to serve you, right? It's to move you through these levels so that when you act out of that ego judgment, that feels bad and you don't want to do that again, so that you don't. It's like it's part of the process. It's part of the learning and growing piece of it. Because just as we're clearing a whole bunch of stuff, we also have to learn at the same time. We're learning because of all of the stuff we're clearing, but we're also being guided to these new lessons because of all of the stuff that we're clearing. It's attracting other things and other lessons for us. So it's just a big jumble of human experience right now. It's just lovely. Okay, and then on the weekend, we have two cards that popped out. Both are great. Not really. The Three of Swords is heartbreak. So for some of you, this is the story. They are saying like if you want to end a relationship, this might be not the best week to do it. Others, this is like a divorce happening here. So maybe you've decided to have a divorce. Wednesday, Thursday is when you sign the paper, and then the weekend is when things kind of start to get real for you. But also just be mindful of your actions this week. Do you actually want to break up with this person or situation or job or whatever? Or is it just that the way that you're feeling right now, you're feeling maniacal and you just don't care and you just want to act for the sake of acting because you're so sick of being uncomfortable? Again, just be mindful, because that judgment that's coming in will kind of tip everything on its head, and it's really tempting to fall into that because that feels comfortable, because it's human, because it's kept us safe. but really try not to sink into being too hard on people this week and being too judgmental of people, especially your loved ones, because they are suffering just as much as you are. Everybody's going through their own stuff right now. We are all aware of this. This is like a global thing. Everybody is clearing a whole whack of stuff. So maybe this week is not the best week to make those any sort of big life decisions. Use your judgment. You know best, but that's just kind of what the cards are telling us as well. So for the weekend, the Three of Swords is about heartbreak, period. Heartbreak doesn't really have to be romantic. It can be, disappointment. It can be, this perfect house that you wanted to buy falling through, those kinds of things. So it can be heartbreak in a different way. Again, this is beautiful. It is like, it's to serve you. This also partners in with what I was saying on Monday, Tuesday about clearing some old relationship stuff. The heartbreak on the weekend is kind of when that will start to really come up. So that can just be a lot of heart clearing. But partnered with this is the Five of Wands, which is about conflict. So we had conflict as the theme, and we also have conflict on the weekend. So these two partnered together are interesting. This is what makes me think that maybe it's not the best time for you to make any sort of big romantic decisions, because it won't be a clean break. There will be a fight, and maybe you want to fight, but it'll be really hard because, like we talked about at the beginning, you're super taxed, and you at this point don't care if you hurt someone, but you will later. And so that's kind of a dangerous combination, is overwhelmed and having heart-to-heart conversations with someone where you're at opposing views is like a recipe for disaster. So perhaps maybe just put a pin in it. If you have to take a break, but don't make any decisions, and try not to have like a breakup conversation, because this will be floating around in the air. So it won't be a clean break. This is also for some of you a conflict within the self due to a broken heart. Forgive yourself for the roles that you've played in relationship with people, because holding on to any sort of regret or anger about the things that you've done does not serve you on any level. It's destroying you. So let all that stuff go. And especially because we are looking at these cards this weekend, like cocoon yourself, spend time doing things that make you feel good, avoid people who trigger you, just because you may not necessarily be in the best headspace to deal with all of that extra stuff that you maybe don't need. Yeah. So this was a long reading. There's so much information. So I'm hoping that you're just downloading all of the stuff that I am putting out there for you. The important thing to remember is not to go into fear about it, because none of this stuff is actually really that bad. It's just nice to be mindful of, whatever's floating around in the air, so that you can be your best self every single time, even if your best self isn't the best self that you were last week. It changes every single day. But sometimes, life happens and it sucks and we mess up, and that's fine. And we just have to move forward from there. So if you do end up in an argument, or you do end up hurting someone, just be gracious, apologize when the time is right, and learn from it, because you're human. And like I said, whatever you're going through is enough. You are going through it, and it's been a tough time, and I acknowledge that, and you deserve a little bit of credit. And so give yourself a break and relax and watch a bunch of those really bad Hallmark movies, like those really nice romantic movies or something like that. Maybe that's just what you need to fill your heart up. And journal a lot. If you journal, you're not only understanding or articulating what's going on so that your mental body can understand it, but you're actually clearing stuff. Because as you acknowledge things, that's when they leave. It's because sometimes when we clear stuff, we need to witness it. So journal a ton and do things that make you feel whole and happy, and go back to basics. Don't make it complicated. Just do the basic stuff that makes you feel good. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for being here each and every week. If you have not already, please subscribe to this channel. And if you have not already, please come by katiehunt.ca to subscribe for your chance to win a free tarot card reading with me, much like this one, just with more details specifically for you. And if you are interested in coaching or Reiki or a tarot card reading or meditation coaching or pregnancy coaching, I do all that stuff too. Please hit me up at the Gmail no, that's not right either. Sorry, like I said, I'm tired. thejourneytospirit@gmail.com. I'll put all of that information below, and I'll see you next week. I'm sending you so much love, my friend. Thank you for being here.